Hey YouTube, it's Coach Tabe. I'm back with another video. Tonight we are unboxing the Dayan Guhong v3. So I've been looking for a new main for OH for a while. Decided to try something a little smaller than your average size cube, but a little bigger than the Valk Mini and the 50mm Mofang Jiaoshi. Now you might be asking yourself, hey, where's Coach Tabe been? It's been about a week and a half or 2 weeks since his last video. Well, to be brutally honest, I've been a little unmotivated thanks to the stuff we've got going on with the coronavirus and COVID-19, all that stuff. My competition that we had planned months in advance for Spokane Pi Day got canceled. That was actually before the WCA sent out their regulations asking people to cancel. We canceled a little bit before that. Pretty disappointed at that, as you might imagine. Not real happy about that. Kind of lost a little motivation as a result. I've been practicing a little bit, but not a whole lot because, like I said, I'm just a little unmotivated. So I'm trying to get back on track. I'm feeling pretty good. Don't worry about me. I'm not sick. None of my family is sick. We're all good. Hope everybody out there is doing well as well. But anyway, I'm back on track. Got a video lined up for you tonight. Going to have more coming. But we're going to be talking about the Dayan Guhong v3. I've rambled long enough. Let's go. Alright guys, we are looking at the Dayan Guhong v3. Real basic packaging. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Now the main attraction of this puzzle compared to a lot of others is that it is 54mm, so it's a little smaller than your average flagship, and just immediately coming out of the package it feels really small, even though it's only 2mm smaller. Comes in plastic though, so that gives us hope that it might be halfway decent. And it is, holy cow, it's like they dunked the cube in lube before they stuck it in the box. Holy cow, is that lubey. I hate that when cubes come out of the box super lubey. I don't mind if it's lube, but geez, don't put it on the outside of the cube for crying out loud. Alright, before we get any further, let's go ahead and compare it to the GAN X. As you can see, it is significantly smaller, even though, boy, 2mm seems like nothing, but on a cube it really is a lot. Shades are pretty good, other than the red maybe being a little darker than I would like. It feels very light in the hand, and it feels a little sandy and dry despite being heavily lubed. Magnets are a little light, I would say. Not too bad, but just, oh boy, it's a little lighter than I would like. But if the cube is constructed right, I can easily add magnets if I need to. And I'm probably going to be using this for OH, or at least that's the plan. And maybe I don't really want strong magnets for that anyway. Let's go ahead and get some first turns. Of course, we'll start with a T-perm. Or 4 of them, as the case might be. Initial impressions, pretty nice, not super duper fast, but not slow either. Corner cutting is absolutely effortless, pretty much everywhere. Wow, that is like absolutely zero effort corner cutting. Maybe a little loose tension wise, but and I'll just go ahead and mess that up. Go ahead and scramble that. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a little looser than I would like, but that's okay for now. We'll go ahead and I'll just go ahead and do the cross wrong. How about that? That's always good. Yep, you can easily see how I got a 22 as I mess up the cross again in Central Washington, no doubt. Geez, oh Pete, this is just brutal. I'll go ahead and just not do this solve well at all. I'm tired. Well, that's my excuse. I'm tired. How about that? So what was that, about a 65? Yeah, that was pretty bad. That's not why I don't really do a whole lot of saw on camera. You know, but right out of the box, that's pretty nice. For OH, and of course I have mad OH skills. I am definitely sub 3 minutes at OH. Actually, probably average right around a minute 59, somewhere around there, which is a little slower than I should be given what my 3x3 normal times are. But I don't practice it enough to be any good. And part of that is because I don't think I've ever really found a cube that I'm comfortable with. So right now what I use for OH is the Volk Mini, and that's 47 millimeters, which is really, really small. I've got a magnetic one, and it seems to do the trick, but I can't help but feel like I'm just not using a good size cube for my hand. I don't have big hands to begin with, but it feels like I should be using something different size anyway. But anyway, out of the box, first impressions, pretty darn good. You know, I'm not real crazy about being super lubey and all that. Maybe it's a little loose out of the box. I could probably tighten that up a bit. That probably explains why the corner cutting is so good. But right now, this feels really nice, especially for the price. I think these run like $14.99. I'm going to go ahead and do some solves on this. I'll come back, give you my final thoughts, and let you know whether you should buy it or not. Alright guys, so I've had the Guhong now for a little while, and I've had a chance to do a whole bunch of solves on it. And to be brutally honest, I don't like it very much, especially for two-handed. The size is pretty nice at 54 millimeters, but it's just so dang flexible, and the magnets are just so weak that it ends up being kind of a catchy, unstable mess, and I just don't like it. Now, it is quiet like the Tangyun. Not quite as quiet as the Tangyun, but it is quiet, so that's nice. But at the end of the day, it kind of feels like a cheap budget cube as opposed to a pretty decent budget cube. The edges of the pieces are pretty sharp, something like you see in a lot of other cheap budget cubes, and it just ends up being catchy and overly flexible. Even in this video here, this is after tightening it over a full turn on each screw, and it still is way too loose, too flexible. I just could not get it to be stable with the factory magnets in there. And so I did also try to use it for one-handed. You'll see some of that here in just a second as I show off my amazing one-hand skills. And that is actually the main reason I got the cube, is for one-handed solving. Because of the 54 millimeter size. I've been looking for something that's a little smaller than a normal cube and a little bigger than the Volk Mini and performs better than the 50 millimeter Mofang Jiaoshi. And the size is really nice, but everything else, it just falls apart, especially for being unstable. It makes it very hard for somebody like me with bad turning in OH to do OH on this cube. It just doesn't work well, and I end up catching all the time, and stuff turns when I don't mean for it to turn. And even though sometimes that's my fault because my turning is so bad, other times it's definitely the cube and not me. So, do I recommend this cube? No. Let me finish up this solve here. We'll get to the bottom line, as I take forever because I don't know any PLLs and drop the cube almost. There we go. All right, so what are the pros? Well, first of all, it's a 54 millimeter cube. It's 67 grams, so it is super, super light. It's small. The lightweight is really good for some people, and it is also really quiet, like the Tangyun. Unfortunately, the magnets are way too weak. It's too flexible, and although you didn't see it in this video, I got a lot of corner twists on it as well. The bottom line is, don't buy this cube, especially for two-handed. Now, having said that, when I do reviews, I review based on the cube that you get in the box. And so based on that, don't buy this. However, after doing the solves that you saw in the video there, I added magnets to the edges. I added 4x1.5 N35s to all the edges, and that helped with the stability quite a bit. Not enough for two-handed. It still is not a good cube for two-handed, but it helped a lot for one-handed. Made the cube just stable enough to be usable. Not sure if it's my main for OH or not, but I have been using it a lot for that. So if you're willing to mod the cube by adding magnets, this might be something that you can use. If you're not, if that's not something you want to do, even though it is really super easy, you don't even need glue, just drop the magnets in and they go where they need to go. Then if that's something you're willing to do, then this might be a good cube for you. If not, don't buy this cube. It's absolutely not good enough without the extra magnets, and don't buy this for two-handed. It's absolutely not good enough for two-handed no matter what. All right, guys, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit like and subscribe down below, drop a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, everybody.